Hey everybody, back again to continue my top 50 albums of all time. Today we're going to be looking at 40 through 31. And we're going to start off with King's X, Ear Candy. Hard rock from Texas. I have heard many King's X releases and own 3 or 4, but this one from 1996 is far and away the best to my ears. My favorite tracks on here are Thinking and Wondering What I'm Gonna Do, A Box, Mississippi Moon, Lies in the Sand, Run, Fathers, Picture. I named the majority of the album there, but this is one of my favorite rock albums of all time. And these guys are still doing their thing. I think Doug Pinnick, the frontman, he's like in his early 70s now. Still doing their thing, and great band. 39, Neurosis, A Sun That Never Sets. I tried to keep, with a couple exceptions, keeping it down to one album per band, again with a couple exceptions. And Neurosis are one of my favorite bands, but what album is my favorite? Hard to say. The last several years, this has been my go-to, so that's what I'm going to go with. A total masterpiece, and some days could be higher on my list. 38, London Calling by The Clash. The first 3 Clash albums, kind of hard to pick which one I like the best, but I think London Calling has the highest quantity of amazing songs. London Calling, Spanish Bombs, Lost in the Supermarket, Guns of Brixton, Train in Vain, I'm Not Down, Lover's Rock, Death or Glory, Coca-Cola. I could go on and on. One of the best albums ever. 37, Swans. Another one of my favorite bands where it's kind of hard to pinpoint my favorite. I'm going to go with Children of God. Historically, it was probably The Great Annihilator, but it's changed in recent years. I think this has just the most variety. Just hits on all their strengths on one album. Children of God. 36, Burzum, Hivs, Lyset, Tar Os, one of the most influential black metal albums ever. This or Philosophem. Pretty tight race between those two, but this I've been feeling in recent years. 35, a classic on many people's lists. Dirt by Alice in Chains, definitely their peak, their second album. Obvious pick, but Wood's probably my favorite song on here. You know what? And Them Bones, the bookends of the album. That's the best. Remember, I borrowed this from a kid I knew at school when I was like 12, and it's one of the albums that changed everything. Similarly is my number 34, Pantera, Far Beyond Driven. I don't listen to Pantera very much anymore, considering seeing them live on this new tour. Haven't really decided yet. I missed them around the first time. Second time, I might. But, so I don't listen to much Pantera anymore, but I can't deny they were very important to my early teenage years. And if there's one album that I will still put on now that still stands out to me, it's Far Beyond Driven. Definitely the heaviest album and the most classic songs, I think. My personal favorites are I'm Broken, the cover of Planet Caravan, which I think I might like better than the Sabbath version, and Hard Lines and Sunken Cheeks. I remember my first job was a paper route when I was like 12 years old. I had this dubbed on cassette. I copied it from a cousin, and just listening to that as the sky turned dark blue into black every night. Like for 2 years, I had this on my Walkman, and that line, Hard Lines and Sunken Cheeks, that guitar riff, it's just imprinted in my mind, and I will always love a sound. 43, Bergtat from Over. This is the debut album. Folky black metal, for lack of a better word. What year was this? 1994. Very influential album. Very atmospheric album. A lot of people don't really include Over with the truest of the early Norwegian black metal scene, but I think this one always hits the atmosphere just right, and one of my favorites from that time period and scene. 32, King Diamond, Fatal Portrait. I think this is the best King Diamond album. The most straightforward, classic metal record he put out. I like The Candle, Dressed in White, Lurking in the Dark, Halloween, Charon. Heavy metal classic. And the last one for today is number 31. Obvious pick, but we got Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. Can't go wrong. Any hard rock, heavy metal fan, you can put this on and they'll tolerate it for what it is. Picking just 3 songs, got to go with Night Train, Rocket Queen. And you know what? I don't care if it's an overplayed song. Sweet Child of Mine is like the best mainstream rock song of all time. That's it. I'll see you on the next one.